Everybody. My name is Rafał Wójcik, and together with Michał Szklarski, we will lead today's webinar on the topic of PWA, Progressive Web Applications. If you could confirm in the comments whether you can hear us. Great. We have the confirmation. So first of all, I would like to thank you for your time today, as we have many attendees. Let's go through the agenda of today's webinar. These are exactly we. Hi. So we'll begin an introduction to ePoint. Then we will go on to discuss PWA, what it is. We'll show the benefits of using this technology and some case studies. We'll also present a live demo of PWA Commerce Accelerator. And at the end, we plan to have a small discussion with you. Our webinar is being recorded, and the link to the recording will be sent to all participants. So let's start. For over 20 years, we have been creating end-to-end online systems, basing our operations on 3 pillars: technology, design, execution. We have been dealing with sales platforms for over a dozen years. We completed the first e-commerce project for Coca-Cola almost 15 years ago. At that time, we did not know that we built an e-commerce platform. We didn't know this term. Later on, more e-commerce projects appeared, and we are currently a leader on the Polish and possibly even on the European market, if it is about the implementation of multinational and multilanguage e-commerce platforms. For a long time, we have been focusing on mobile solutions in which PWA plays an increasingly important role. In this area, we have started cooperation with Google, and has resulted in our company being listed on Google's directory of agencies building PWA. You can see it on this map now. The solution that we will also present to you later in this webinar is also the result of the cooperation with Google. At this point, I would like to ask Michał to start the presentation of PWA, and as I ask you, if you have any question, comments, please just add as a comment. We try to answer it during the presentation.
Sure, thank you, Rafał. So as I was introduced, I'm Michał Szklarski. I'm a PWA expert from ePoint. The introduction actually was done about the company, so let's start with just the core things, such as why PWAs, why progressive web applications. What are those at first? So if you can imagine, the PWAs, progressive web applications, are this is pretty much a standard that was invented by Google a few years ago. Now it's being more and more popular through various use cases, such as e-commerce, such as applications that provide us some services, and so on and so on. We've got many references over the globe, and we will tell you about that later on. But for now, what are the 3 pillars of PWAs, of progressive web application? The first is performance. So the applications that are compliant with PWA standard, pretty much it's a checklist. We will see it later on. Those are pretty much fast applications. So we have near instant loading. There is a much of caching of resources, so storing them on your devices. There is much of other optimization techniques, such as image optimization, such as content optimization, lazy loading, and so on and so on. With all of those, we can achieve less than 1 second of loading time. For example, if the technology such as service workers, one of the also technical pillars of PWAs, is used there. So we aim to achieve a peak performance in PWAs. The second thing is offline and large accessibility, actually. PWAs actually are filling the gap that we have always with the mobile applications, that we actually, in some limited terms, we can use them even without internet connection or with a very poor internet connection. So with PWAs, actually, we can do the same. That was pretty much unimaginable with earlier websites that were not PWAs pretty much. So early on, we couldn't do offline from websites. Right now, it's fully possible, and that's PWAs. So as you can imagine, this offline can be a few steps of your checkout process. For example, few pages, for example, product page that will be stored on the device on the users, so they can be able to reach it later on, even without internet connection. So that's a great advantage here right now. The accessibility is also connected with the performance, because with a good placement of things and also the optimization of them, you can achieve much faster load times on slow networks. So for example, if you are traveling via train, via car, for example, you will get really nice load times compared to the classical websites that's pretty much we are all having right now. So there's that. And also the progressiveness and the backend independence. Such application, that's more of a kind of a trait of modern web applications. They can be plugged in to any existing backend system such as you may have. For example, we got SAP or Hybris Commerce, Magento, Broadleaf, PIMCO, or any other commerce system. You can add to that CMS systems and also many of those, because such applications are written in headless mode. That means that you can apply it to any underlying layer of, for example, software that we are actually having right now. All of them need to be linked with, through an API, so the interfaces that enable us to connect many things to such a front layer that is PWA, so progressive web applications. And the progressiveness pretty much means that you are pretty much enabled to achieve more and more functionalities with the progress of your web browser technology. So for example, if you have the latest Google Chrome on your mobile device, then you will be able to achieve much of the features that are currently implemented, such as geofencing, for example, for your clients, if you want to target ads in specific areas. For example, also you can do this with camera. You can recognize barcodes, you can recognize QR codes from applications. So that progressiveness is about that. So you can use more and more features with each next release of your web browser technologies. In one sentence, PWAs are just sites, upgraded websites that are using state-of-the-art technologies to make it look and behave like a regular native mobile application. So there's filling that gap. You don't need any more mobile applications. You can do it all within your current web service or pretty much web store or anything that's in the internet. So pretty much that we conceived that after our projects that the PWAs are always a response to such kind of an issue. So if you are not happy with your conversion rates because of the performance, because of any other various issues, or even kind of an UX issues if you are having, if you are burdened with an outdated client interface because you didn't upgrade it for a long time, if you are spending too much on search engine optimization because you need to be simply on top, but the underlying technologies are not up to that also in your stack. If people don't want to download your mobile application because the conversion also on the Play Store is much a difficult process, if the total cost of ownership is killing you simply because you need to maintain a separate application for iOS, separate application for Android, and separate for the web version, so for the desktops, there is also much of a popular problem. And if customers are complaining about response time, then there is pretty much the ideal response is to implement PWA on top of your business, on top of your current service, or deploy something new. So there is progressive web applications to that. So if we got all of these problems, kind of our reaction 1 year ago was to do something about them, was to solve them. And solving them, we actually developed a piece of software that's called PWA Commerce Accelerator. And it is a headless commerce storefront that works on top of any working actually right now in your business, in your company e-commerce system. It's pre-integrated with SAP, Hybris, with Broadleaf, with Magento, and with Pimcore. We'll tell more about that later on, but it works as a front-end layer, so the user interface for your clients. It's from the box starting, it's 100% mobile friendly, so it fills the gap of your if you are in a need, or if you actually right now are having mobile applications. So there is right now a movie regarding our accelerator, our product, and I will switch to the desktop sharing mode in order to present it to you. So let me switch to that. Just a second. Yes, I think it's being shared. Okay, so let's start with that. So pretty much the thing we are right now showing here is that it works with every e-commerce underlying technology that we have. It integrates within the processes, within the mechanism to that. It's mobile ready out of the box. So you will get everything starting from the smartphones, on the tablets, and on the personal computers to that. And it has a nice features such as push notifications, camera access, and geolocation, for example, from the box. And right now, we try, and we actually we did that. This is a comparison versus standard using all technologies made storefront versus our PWA Commerce Accelerator. And so let's try to compare a regular checkout process. We'll compare it obviously using time metrics. So you will see how fast it can be done on our product. It uses various technology that comes from the mobile browsers, such as Google Payment Request API. And on the left, there is 30 seconds, and it's completed. So the whole checkout process is done here. On the native all type of website, based on actually here on SAP Hybris, there is 1 minute and 24 seconds to that. So the difference is really, really vast, as you may see here. So there is that regarding that movie, and I will switch back to our presentation right now. Let me start back. So yeah, the presentation should be visible right now. Okay, so regarding performance, pretty much we had it on the movie. So there is a 30 seconds difference versus 1 minute and 24 seconds also. But to that, we also employ here a world-class customer experience. So the whole front end is actually was designed using mobile-first approach. So we did it on with the mobiles on top of our minds. So this is also that. And it ensures hassle-free access and usage. So you don't need an app store to download it, to install it. You can do it from the browser. And that's what PWAs are about. You can install it from the browser. There is two-step installation process. It's even not close if you can compare it to the standard process of installing your applications through an Play Store on Apple App Store. So there's a total difference in that. Fast response plus offline, we also employ an offline mode. So there is that. You can do some things in the when you when you lack an internet connection, pretty much. It's affordable because if you compare a TCO of having a mobile application separate from the for the two platforms, for example, here is just the one storefront, one technology to play on all types of devices. So the affordability here is also a great thing. It's multilingual out of the box, so we support many language versions regarding product data, regarding any other content data actually, and it's ready to be plugged in actually to any e-commerce solution. We pre-integrate, that means very, very rapid implementation process on top of your solutions with Magento, with Broadleaf Commerce, and with SAP Commerce. Any other platform, there is also an integration process. It will be a bit longer, but the difference is not like not measured in months, for example. It's pretty much rather in weeks. So there is that. And the key features, actually, if I can make it short, the two, is that you can have PWA experience with any e-commerce software. So with our solution, with PWA Commerce Accelerator, you will get that PWA experience with any underlying technology. Either it's Magento, it's WooCommerce, it's any other e-commerce software platform that it's working and it's fulfilling the orders right now. You will be able to put our storefront, which pretty much is an extension to your e-commerce solution, on top of it and have it pretty much well integrated and coupled in order to fetch all data and provide users meaningful experiences right there. You will get menu structures, you will get products, you will get catalogs mapped into our storefront without any hassle. And the independence, it's a pretty much independent that was earlier on conceived in the word of headless front-end. That means it can be applied to on-premise installations or even in cloud installations. So it doesn't matter for our solution when you are hosting it. It can be cloud, it can be on-premise, it can be even on your PC. It will work in any of those modes. And it's pretty much very, very customizable. Here's about little about technical architecture of the solution. So pretty much we are working only on level first and second here right now. The levels third and fourth, those are transparent for us because with them, the e-commerce solutions are mostly integrating. So we are leaving that to SAP, we are leaving that to Broadleaf, we are leaving that to Magento or any other e-commerce, because those are pretty much just the layers that are actually a powerhouse of your businesses. And with the second and the first level, those are our areas. We are actually on top of it. We are connecting through REST APIs and to that adapters to any e-commerce storefront, any e-commerce platform that is below it. And through many connectors, actually, we are pulling from those platforms such data, such as products, such as content, such as many, many other types. And we are displaying them to users with great mobile experiences and actually delivering PWA mode that behaves that makes our application behave like a native regular application, so that you will be able to install it on your devices. And the benefits, if you can make it in the PWA, if you will apply our solution, then you will get the cost optimization. I mentioned it before. You will get one code, one platform, and you will work for all devices, even in iOS devices, in Apple devices. It will work in background thanks to the service worker technology that I mentioned also a bit earlier on. It will collect, it will provide data to our users, to our customers without any problems. Also, the CEO aspects are here increased because the PWA checklist, so the checklist that our solution is built upon it, it consists of 7 points of SEO compliancy. So basically, if we are compliant with that, overall application score should be better regarding search engine optimization. There's also a hassle-free deployment regarding the whole essence of the PWAs. It means fast updates. So for example, regarding that fast updates, you don't need to go through the whole Apple or Google verification process or the whole procedure of putting a new version of your application through their app stores. Here you will just update your website and it will be automatically propagated to all of your user or customers' devices. So it's a very, very nice feature right here. There is no Google or Apple verification if you are using the install through web channel. Pretty much the installable can be everything. Our application, our store from PWA Commerce Accelerator is a type of PWAs that can be installed without going through that whole process. And as I mentioned earlier, this is about putting it on the Google or Apple App Store. It's also a possibility if you want to have that channel, but it's another development. It's another thing to have on that. We recommend to for the people that are using our solution to just remain with the installability from web browsers, such as it's a very important and new channel to have our apps installed. It integrates with existing backend solutions. So anything you will have, as I said also earlier on the slide before, anything that you will have here, it can be easily integrated. Then modern websites. So with our Commerce Accelerator, with PWA Commerce Accelerator, you can achieve the modern look and feel and mobile-first approach and deliver that to your users. We also recommend that we are doing the design services and UX optimizations regarding the organic our product to be as friendly as it can be to the end customers. But those were the advantages for the business on the one side. There's also a second side of those type of advantages. So the conversion increase. With PWA Commerce Accelerator, you can achieve conversion increase up to 74%. It's pretty much the overall data that you got from implementing PWAs on top of your existing solutions or from scratch. You will get faster page loads. Starting from 10 seconds, which is a terrible result, and that also will cause a huge bounce rate. You can go to 1 or 2 seconds. This is a fantastic result, and with that, the bounce rate will be minimalized. I will tell it also a bit later on. Higher discoverability. You can achieve the discoverability on search engines using standard SEO techniques. You can boost your PWA also here. You can do it through Google Play Store, because putting your PWAs in Google Play Store is there's also a possibility regarding that. It's called Trusted Web Activities, and I can tell you more and more about it, but not on this webinar especially. And also a Microsoft Store. There's also a possibility, so you can have all of those channels or just the web channel, as I said earlier on. Then increase of page views or time per page. So the possibility in that is also a huge thing, because PWAs, when they are implemented, actually can increase up to 200% in page views per one session, and up to 300% in time spent on PWA. So the time spent on PWA means that this is the mode of the application when you will enter it from your home screen or from menu. So we will enter it as a regular application after installation through browser. So there is a free time, 300% in increase in time spent in that mode of your application. There is increase of total sales. Actually, you can go up to 30% of revenue increase with using PWA solutions, and less bounces, because great performance means less bounces. And bounce rate can be reduced up to 2 times less on our software. And advantages from the end users and from the businesses, pretty much, because as I showed earlier, those are the advantages from the users, from the user perspective. Right now on the business, so the business will actually benefit from the PWAs in terms of mobile friendliness. So we'll provide the version of application that's really mobile friendly, and use at least responsive web design techniques to be displayed. This is at least, because at the maximum level there is a mobile first approach. That means that we are designing it at first with the mindset of smartphones. Fast responses even on slow connections, so we'll be able to deliver content even when your end customers are traveling, for example via train. Push notifications, so that means that you will be able to deliver users content that were earlier on. It was always paired with developing native applications and doing it there. Right now, you can do push notifications through web applications such as PWAs. So you are able to deliver notifications about due invoices, about about promotions of products, and so on. The use cases here are a vast area actually. So you will be able to do any type of notifications that are that is pretty much suited to your business requirements. There is hassle-free access and usage, and for business it means there is no installations. There's no installation routines. There is pretty much easiness to have it on your devices. Offline capabilities, that means increased accessibility, we got it earlier on also, and modern look and feel, that means on every device you can achieve that, including express payments. So pretty much the whole interface, and it was also showed on our video. There is technique, there's also actually not a technique, but a thing called Google Payment Request API that creates a checkout-less experiences that enable you to have, for example, your whole checkout done in 30 seconds instead of 1.5 minutes, for example. And from some case studies, we did optimizations and developments for live height, and they got from our works a 255% increase in sales in 3 months after our works. Then in conversion of the purchase process by 280%, and around 60% decrease in shopping cart abandonment. Pretty much the optimization, the performance are a great deal, and right here in this case, that was it pretty much. We achieved that. And a little bit about global cases. The Alibaba actually deployed PWAs on top of its solutions a few years ago, and after that, after upgrading to PWA, they've got actually they saw up to 74% increase in total mobile conversions from that type of application, from PWA, and that means, as you may imagine, the huge load of money that Alibaba is making. How much in that means 74% of increase in total mobile conversion. So there's a great deal in this case. From the other cases, there is George, a leading brand in UK. It's a part of the Walmart group. And after upgrading to PWA, they achieved pretty much 4 times faster average paid load times. And that was a great deal for them because they use techniques such as lazy loading, image optimization, and so on. And it speeded up their front end up to 4 times. And also the rejections, the bounces were limited 2 times practically less, and their overall conversion rate increased in 31%. And many, many more that joined also the PWA Club. You can see here such as pure plays, such as Tinder, such as Pinterest, such as Instagram, and for example, also Uber. Those applications are being done in PWA, and that shows us that the world is going in the place that actually PWA will become a standard for your e-commerce, for your web application of any type, pretty much. The Flipkart here is an Indian marketplace, and was pretty much an innovator in this area. They did it first, and later on you have actually pretty much the more and more cases in your country, globally, and so on. And actually right now I'll switch back to my desktop sharing mode, and I will show you the live demo of our product, our PWA Commerce Accelerator. So you should be able to see it right now. And let's see how it works, how it performs. It's, as you may see, it's a classical storefront. It's a classical front end of your e-commerce. Actually, the main page can consist of banners, of any types of elements that you will want to have here. It can be tied with CMS systems. Here is a category page. You can use all product data, and actually on the top of my screen on the right side, there is a push notification, so we got that also covered in our product. Here on our solution, you will get all product data from your e-commerce platform mapped here regarding availability, pricing, promotions, product data, basic and rich. that consists of images, 3D models, and so on, configuration data, so various models of your products, and also filters, such as here we can filter through name, for example, we can filter through price and relevance, actually. Yeah, actually, thank you, Rachel. You will got everything here. Also the whole menu structure, the categories, as you may see here on the sandals, on the serve accessories. I will try to switch to that. Oh, this is an empty category, but for example, guides, or for example, shades. You may see here that there are various filters that you can apply, and also those are mapped for e-commerce platforms. So anything that you will set here will be pretty much put also there. So price tags, so the colors, for example, brands, and so on and so on. And let's try to add this product to our cart. Also, there's a full cart support. Regarding product data, you will have images, you will have rich content, you will have share options, you will have add to cart or any other call to action. You are even possible to have buy now that will direct you to the Google Payment Request API, and then you will be able to finish that purchase in less than 20 seconds from this screen. The description, any other data, documents, there's a possibility to put it here. So let's go to the cart. Also, the full user data model is supported, and internationalization. So we can see there's an English, Deutsch, or Polish version of the application. Let's check out our cart. You can manipulate through the product numbers. You can edit or remove them for your cart as a classical e-commerce. We support also the promotion codes. And let's try the one-click checkout. That was also seen on the movie, but let's do it through my browser right now. And what's pretty much going on right now is that this part of the process is handled by my browser, so by Google Chrome, for example. It's supported also on other types of browsers, but right here I'm using Google Chrome, so I will show you with this. I will set some test address. The delivery data is pulled from your e-commerce platform. So anything you will set that, for example, pickup points, the delivery through DPD or DHL or any other provider, you will get here. I will select standard delivery because that's from e-commerce platform. That's a powerhouse to do our solution. I will select some test card and then pay. I will enter some CVC code, confirm. It's processing. And that's all. The order confirmation. We are pretty much right now done. Our whole process of the checkout is done, and the products are being delivered to us right now. That means that the whole data, the product, the whole order went to e-commerce platform that you are using. In this solution right now, it's SAP Hybris, but it can be a Magento, it can be a Broadleaf, or any other solution. Also PWA, that means that I am able to install it and use on my browser on my computer or my device and anytime. And right now I will show you this as a classical application. And as you may see here, this is the same application. It's only opened as a context, is in context of classical app that works and lives in my computer. I got the same order confirmation, I got the same page, but the only difference, and the vast difference, is that it is run and it works and it behaves like a classical app. Right now, due to the small size of it, it's in responsive mode, but I can make it broader, and here it's all of the interface that we are being used to. So pretty much we've got everything also here, and it works straight from my menu. So for example, I am able to run it through my start menu or any other that kind of accelerator from the searches of my computer. It works the same on the mobile device. You can install it, you can search for it, and you can run it as a standard application. So there is that regarding also a demo. I will right now stop sharing my screen and we'll get back to the presentation. So yeah, that was live demo. And the pricing models, and actually we are near the finish of the webinar. So there is also an important piece of information regarding how are we distributing, how are we providing it to our customers. There are 3 models. The first one is the accelerator usage license only. We are billing through, this is a one-time payment. You are actually buying the current version, and the current version is 1.0 of PWA Commerce Accelerator. And there is a deal in that, because just for 10k euro, one time you will get that version of our product. That means you will be able to have that mobile experience. You will be able to provide to your users an installable e-commerce that you will possibly won't need any type of mobile applications later on. So with that, there is just an accelerator usage license. You can develop it with your IT, with your teams. We are just providing you the product. So there is that model. The second model is the implementation service and design service. And that means from the price of 40k euros plus the license price, we are providing you not just only the accelerator, not just only the product, but the whole implementation and the design service. That means that you will have the solution fitted to your requirements, to your needs at the end. So you won't need external or your internal IT team to deliver that, to have that. So there's also a second model regarding that, because we as a Nippon are a software house, and those projects are our daily job pretty much. And also the third option, if you don't have anything right now, if you don't have any e-commerce platform, there's also a possibility, because we are an e-commerce e-commerce software house, so we are doing e-commerces daily. We are able to implement it for you, and it's just a custom project. It means to be as fitted as it can be to your requirements, to your needs. It consists of backend integration, product and user mapping, and so on. It should have an analysis process and all the various things. So there's to that individual pricing, plus the license fee is just universal in those models. But on top of that e-commerce that we'll also implement, you will have an PWA storefront. That means you will be able to install on the devices of end users, will be able to install it on their devices, and the performance increase also. And the accelerator is pretty much based on most recent versions of popular platforms such as Magento, Broadleaf Commerce, and SAP Commerce. And regarding the licensing model, if there will be any questions to that, we'll be happy to answer them. And for all PWA webinar participants, right now, as we are being here, we have an extra bonus. So we've got for you a special 15% discount for our accelerator license. So if we will get into talks later on, and you were a guest of the webinar, that discount will apply to you also.
Do you have any questions? Hello,
Yeah, right now we're open to questions. We are waiting for a we're seeing that someone is writing a message. Yeah, we've got the question, how exactly the offline function works. It's a great question, pretty much. It's pretty much depending on the type of the offline you want to have on your e-commerce front end. There is a possibility to have it only in simple mode, so it will work just as a placeholder. So if the device will detect it that you are offline, it will show you the page that you are offline. And this is as simple as it can be. It's just a placeholder for the standard Chrome dinosaur. So you don't see that, but you will see it in your website layout that you are offline. And the second mode that is more interesting, and we are having it on our road and we are developing it right now. It's a full offline mode. That means that you will be able to go through various steps of the checkout process without not noticing that you lost the connection to the internet. So you will be able to browse products that are stored on your device. You will be able to see those details of those products. And then later on, you will not be able only to check out, to purchase them, because the payment operations needs to have full internet access. So in terms of offline, we are having right now that, and we are planning to do full offline. Yeah, we've got second question. How much more expensive is developing native mobile applications for iOS and Android versus going PWAs? That's also a great question, because as I mentioned earlier, it's TCO optimization. So regarding Android and iOS applications, you will get that for one platform. For second platform, you will need to have separate teams of developers, separate teams of even devices, because in order to develop iOS applications, you will need to have Mac computers, Mac solutions. For Android, the case is simpler, because you'll need pretty much any computer. It will be possible to do it here. For the web, there is also another technology stack, and then another experts needed to be employed here. So those are the three dominant platforms right now. And with the separate projects, separate code bases, separate people here, actually it's 3 times pretty much. Here you are only doing it once and for all and for good. So the cost optimization can be for the developing mobile app, it can be up to 3 or 4%, 3 or 4 times more than developing PWAs. So with going with that way, you can actually pretty much optimize your cost up to the 3 or 4 times. Any other questions? Yeah, we're seeing that someone is writing. Yeah, you said that PWA is an universal technology. Is it possible to use it with Shopify? Yes, that's a difficult use case, because such software as a service platforms such as Shopify, Shopla, Shopper, and many more, they are also developing and are also putting their own PWAs modes. That means it's a very simple mode that will only for them it will work that you can switch one button on and off, and your application is supposed to be PWA, but entirely it's not. It will not use the advanced techniques that we've got in our product, such as service workers, such as optimizations, and so on and so on. To make a short answer to that, you can use our product with Shopify, because also Shopify enables to connect to it through various API interfaces. And you will benefit from that with more advanced techniques and higher degree of customization that you can do on our solution than on Shopify. Last question. What problems did you encounter during the implementation of PWAs? Actually, as an ePoint, we are right now delivering PWA projects, and had done some PWA projects and even PWA audits for our customers. And regarding, or there's also another question, I'll answer the first one right now. The most common problem was I think the importance of the performance issues. many of our clients were still stuck with the believing that the performance for the end user is not so a crucial thing. So if, for example, your website is loading 6 seconds, then this is okay. And obviously, right now, if you are using a mobile phone, it's not okay. It's a terrible score, and you will need to have it optimized to 1 or 2 seconds. So we'll need to push on the performance through any means if it's possible. And with our product, we did some studies regarding the performance, and pretty much all of the results we put there. So those were that was the one common also problem that we encountered, the importance of the performance related issues. The second one was with the offline. So actually pretty much what do you want from the offline mode? What do you want to deliver to your end users? And addressing that issue is the problem with that was that our customers pretty much the projects that we had, the customers didn't actually pretty much know what they want to have from the offline mode. And with the proper research and with the proper also identification of the end user problems, there's always a two-way option. For example, the one way is that you can go with just a placeholder. It's simplest and easiest way. And the second way is just the emulation of some parts of the process. So, for example, delivering to your users the checkout that's enabled up to the payment process. So we are also implementing and delivering such experiences. And also the third and the last problem that we encounter is the availability on the Play and the App Store. There is a thing that PWA is pretty much in the essence is against. So the PWAs are installable from your browsers, not from the App Store. They are not supposed. But with recent developments from Google side, it's pretty much possible. You can put your PWA in Google Play Store. You can put your PWA in Microsoft Store, and with some works, you can put it even on the Apple App Store. So we also consulted such projects, and for any types of businesses, because their business cases were totally different, we employed a proper strategy regarding presence on the app stores. There is a technique called Trusted Web Activities, TWA, that enables you to be on the Google Play Store, and we are also providing consulting services regarding this area. So that was the issue, and it was probably addressed through various projects that we had regarding PWA. Okay, so going to the last question. What legacy platforms are the best candidates to be upgraded to a PWA? Even if you're having an old Magento 1.9, let's say, there is also a possibility to have it as a PWA. So with that, you will be able to go into that layer to deliver that kind of experiences. Magento, starting from 2.0 and later versions, those are obviously possible right here. And with our solution, they are pre-integrated. SAP Commerce or Hybris platforms. This is the best candidate actually to be upgraded to PWA, because as you might have seen on the video that we presented earlier on, the difference between standard Hybris storefront experience and our product, our accelerator is vast. So to that, the best candidate are actually such kind of the platforms, and also also any other kind of dedicated solutions that are not yet into full mobile.
Okay. It was the last question. So thank you very much for your present today. As I told you at the beginning, the link to the webinar that was recorded will provide you via emails. So thank you for your participation, and I wish you very pleasant day. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much also.